Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking a look at the Triplefine's TF35 Pro. It is a foldable 1806 brushless motor. It's got optical flow sensor camera, 2-axis mechanical gimbal, 4K camera with electronic image stabilization built in, 3.5 kilometer control distance, as well as 3.5 kilometer video transmission distance, has remote ID, and it is a GPS RC quadcopter ready to fly. So taking a closer look, we have a quadcopter that is identical to the HOLYSTONE's HS600 and the SJRC's F22S in looks and most of the features. Now it has the 4K camera with electronic image stabilization on a 2-axis gimbal, which I really like, instead of a 3-axis gimbal. It's got brushless motors, fixed bi-bladed props with easy on-off locks. So you just push down, rotate, and it comes off. It is spring-loaded locks, so all you do is line it up, push down, and rotate, and it'll lock into place. It's got flipped out landing legs that I really don't like because it can fold in on a crash and thus damage the camera. It's got status LED lights on the arms and also at the tip of the legs. It's got a built-in DVR, and here is the microSD card slot. A 32 to 128 gigabyte microSD card, class 10, U1 or higher is supported. Now it records 4K photos and 4K videos at 30 frames per second to the microSD card, and 4K photos and 720p videos at 30 frames per second to the app and thus into the camera roll. It's got super bright LED lights on the bottom. There's the optical flow sensor camera, and it's got some landing pads here to stick the landing. The battery bay is on the top of the quadcopter, and press both sides to remove the battery. It is a 11.1 volt, 3500 milliamp lithium ion battery. Now it is said to be good for about 35 minutes of flight time. Now this battery is the same exact battery as the HOLYSTONE's HS600 battery, and also the SJRC's F22S battery. Now the HOLYSTONE's HS600 battery is a lot lighter because it is just 2500 milliamps, and even though it does fit, it somehow does not have identical connections, I believe, because once you push it in, an LED light turns on. So I don't even want to power it on just in case it messes up the quadcopter. Now the F22S battery, however, is identical, and it is 3500 milliamps as well. So you can go ahead and fly with this battery because once you push it in, nothing happens to it and it powers up just fine. Now, you put the original battery back in place here so I don't get messed up. Now the TF35 Pro, however, does not have the obstacle avoidance module in the front like the F22S. So it is kind of more like the HS600, but the TF35 Pro comes with a hassle-free remote ID built into the quadcopter. Now this quadcopter weighs in a lot heavier than 250 grams. So you will need to register this quadcopter with the FAA. So once you have done that, it will provide identification and location information through a broadcast signal. So if you have watched my SJRC F22S quadcopter review, there was a couple of things that I didn't like. One, the flip out landing legs for obvious reasons in the front, and the obstacle avoidance module. Now the camera could get damaged if the landing legs fold in. And the obstacle avoidance module works great on the F22S, but it sort of impeded the flying performance, especially when flying low to the ground or when it's coming close to an obstacle, like a tree, and you want to fly over the tree or on the side of the tree. It would detect the ground as an obstacle as well, and it would bob up and down, and you couldn't turn off the obstacle avoidance module from working. So when flying past an object, like a tree or so, or when flying low to the ground, you couldn't get a smooth video and your flight is kind of, ruined. So the Triplefine's TF35 Pro is kind of like the SJRC's F22S without the obstacle avoidance module, and it is like the HOLYSTONE's HS600, but this quadcopter has remote ID built in. Now the remote controller is the same exact remote controller as the F22S quadcopter's remote controller. It has the same pull-out phone holder with the data cable stashed inside of it. So just unplug that side and connect it to the phone that you are using. Now a USB-C and a micro USB and a Lightning data cables are provided to match it up with the device that you are using. Now, the phone holder pullout also houses the antenna and has dual omnidirectional linear antennas inside. So if you hold the remote controller straight up like this, the front will have the weakest signal strength as well as the rear. So holding the remote controller more flatter will be the optimal position, since the weakest signal strength will be straight up and straight down, and the signal strength will be highest all around in a 360-degree radius. So it has the silicone non-slip grooves so your phone stays in place and the buttons don't get accidentally depressed. On the left shoulder we have the camera zoom dial, and on the right shoulder we have the camera tilt dial. On the left in the front, on the top corner, we have the emergency stop button. Short followed by a long press activates the emergency stop. Now this will stop the motors wherever it is, so be careful when you use this. Maybe you can use it when your quadcopter gets stuck on a tree and the motors are still spinning. That would probably be the only time that you will be using this, or your motors just don't want to turn off by themselves. It has smooth gimbals, and on the right top we have the power push button on and off switch. A short followed by a long press to turn it on, and a short followed by a long press to power it off. We have speaker grills here. We have the LCD display screen. We have the speed changing button with a short press, long press to turn GPS on or off. We have the camera button right below that. And on the other side, we have the return home button and the video button. Now on the bottom, we have the silicone placeholders for the gimbal sticks, and a second pair of gimbal sticks are provided just in case you lose your only gimbal sticks here. Now, charge up the internal 3.7 volt 1500 milliamp size battery via the Type-C port. 2 hours of charge for 2 hours of play. Now, both sticks to the bottom and in will arm and disarm the motors of the quadcopter. Both sticks to the top and in for compass calibration. Both sticks to the top and out is for gyro calibration. Now the left stick to the bottom and out, right stick to the top and out to reset to factory settings and for level calibration. Alright guys, so to get started, power on the quadcopter with the long press of the power button. The ESCs will sing their song and the LED lights will start to blink in red because nothing is connected. Next, power on the remote controller. A short followed by a long press of the power button. Just like that. Now, it will take about 45 seconds or so for the remote controller to connect to the quadcopter. It takes a while because of the built-in Wi-Fi repeater. So the phone doesn't connect to the quadcopter using Wi-Fi, but via the data cable to the remote controller instead. And the remote controller is connected to the quadcopter. Once connected, the signal bars will light up in the display. So you need to wait for the signal bars to light up. Sometimes it takes 30 seconds, sometimes it takes 45 seconds, sometimes it takes a little bit longer. So there you go. Signal bars have lit up. Now they are connected. As you can see, the LED lights turn solid in the front, white, solid in the back, blue. Now power on your device. The app you want to download is called the TF Drone app, a free downloadable app in the App Store. So go ahead and check it out and trust this computer. And I'll put in my passcode and hit the app, open up the app and hit get started. Now, I don't have any cellular service or Wi-Fi, so it's showing a blank, but it'll usually tell you to sign in or log in. But instead, just hit the back button and it'll take you to this display here and just hit the controls. And the video transmission on the phone app will show the live FPV video feed. Now, the first thing you want to do is calibrate the compass, and you need to calibrate the compass every single time you fly. So go ahead and grab your remote controller, and both sticks to the top and in will initiate the compass calibration. Just like that. And the lights will start to blink on the quadcopter, as well as the phone app will display that you need to rotate the quadcopter horizontally. So go ahead and grab the quadcopter and rotate it horizontally. The lights will change on the quadcopter, and the display will show you that you need to do the vertical calibration. As you can see, it is solid purple in the rear, and the front LED lights are blinking. So go ahead and grab your quadcopter, nose down or nose up, it really doesn't matter, and do the vertical rotation until the lights blink differently, as well as the phone app tells you that you are done with the compass calibration. Now you see that the lights in the front are blinking in white and lights in the rear are blinking in blue. And they are blinking because all of the necessary GPS satellites has not been acquired. So next thing you want to do now is to do the gyro calibration. Oops, as you can see, all the lights went solid. That means we have acquired all of the necessary GPS satellites for GPS position hold and all of the GPS features. So both sticks at the top and out will calibrate the gyros. Just like that, and gyro calibration is now complete. Now, this quadcopter also comes with a reset and level calibration step with the left stick to the bottom and out and right stick to the top and out. Something like that. There you go. Level calibration is complete, as well as factory reset. Now all of the calibrations are complete. So if the lights were still blinking, that means the necessary GPS satellites haven't been acquired and the motors will not arm. So don't worry, that is normal. You can, however, turn GPS off and then on the motors and fly in the non-GPS mode, or what is called the attitude mode. Simply long press the speed button.
Attitude mode.
It says attitude mode. It's still showing GPS mode on my remote control.
Mode.
However, it is telling me that it is in attitude mode. And if your lights were blinking before attitude mode has been activated, in attitude mode, the lights will go solid, just like right now. So let me go ahead and turn attitude mode off. GPS mode, and it is showing me that it is ready to fly. Now, I do not recommend flying indoors at all, even in this attitude mode, all right? Now, once the lights go solid in the GPS mode, you can now on the motors and fly. Just like that. You will now have GPS position hold when the sticks are let go, when you come to a hover, and GPS return to home, and all of the GPS features will be active as well. So position yourself in the middle of an open field and fly instead of under the shade of a tree or next to a structure. So the quadcopter can land autonomously where it took off from and not hit anything. Also, make sure the return to home altitude is higher than any of the trees or structures nearby. All right, so that'll do it for this unboxing and setup video of the Triplefine's TF35 Pro. So far, it is a very promising GPS RC quadcopter. A flight test video, a distance test video, as well as a camera quality flight video in 4K resolution will be coming soon, so stay tuned for those videos. Now, I like this quadcopter better than the SJRC's F22S because it doesn't have the obstacle avoidance module, which I didn't like, and I ended up taping it up to nullify the module on the F22S and fly about. And it has more flight time than the HOLYSTONE's HS600, and it is future proof with the hassle-free built-in remote ID. So you are compliant with the FAA. So if you want to check out this quadcopter for yourself, the product link is down below in the video description. And with that, I thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you again next time. Nice.